I'm stealing Jess's shtick.
What was that?
I'm stealing Jess's shtick here.
It says that.
Fuck it, I'm doing it. Everyone's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Okay.
Never mind. It's too late.
All right, we are live, so I'm gonna start this up. It's I'm your host tonight, Riley, the Omnibus Collector, and tonight I've got a special guest with me right now, and joining us soon will be a third chair, supposedly. But right now I want to welcome Nick, aka Alec Holland, one of my fellow admins in the Facebook group.
What's up, guys?
So we kind of have a topic for tonight. It was discussed with the rest of the guys who are usually on the show. Wanted to talk about books we're ashamed that we haven't read yet, which was a pretty fun topic to go over, because I'm sure, like, I know I've got a lot of books that I'm ashamed I haven't read yet, even that are in my collection right now. But in the meantime, we'll do some introductions, hauls, what we've read recently, and then get into the main topic. How have you been, man?
Good. How about you, man?
I'm good. Good. Just work as always. Tired.
Yeah, same. It's work. I get to work at 7:30. I have to drive like 30-40 minutes, and it's just a pain in the ass. But otherwise, doing pretty good. When I'm not working, I'm just dicking around, buying shit I don't need, much like all the people in the group. But
that sounds rather familiar. I do the same. I have a bad habit of, when, like, I'm not busy at work, I'll start doing online shopping and, like, look for ridiculously cheap deals on books on eBay. And then I start buying things that I really don't need.
Yeah, you mentioned a manga series recently. Have you got that?
Yeah, I actually did. I was going to talk about the next couple volumes of that series, and I'll when we talk about all that stuff, I'll let you know about it. But if you want to go first, you can show off anything that you got recently that you want to talk about.
Sure. Well, I was telling Riley before the stream, I bought mostly a lot of, like, horror movies and stuff, so I'm obviously not going to show that because this is kind of a comic book stream. But I have bought a couple of odd things, and something that should come as no surprise to anyone who watches my channel or knows me, based on stuff that I post in the group. And some of the people in the group may know that, some people in the group may know that I'm doing a giveaway. And one of the items I bought is partially while I was doing the giveaway. I was mainly doing it to kind of give back to the community and just kind of connect with people and just kind of, just interact with people and kind of say, hey, we like you, and I want to give you this, and blah, 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 whatever. Who cares? Just for fun, basically. But I'll get to that last, probably. But the stuff that I've got recently, and I'll start with this kind of odd kind of, it's not even the whole series, but the 2 manga volumes I picked up recently at kind of a local miscellaneous entertainment retailer called Second and Charles. I picked up these 2 volumes of Lupin the Third.
Nice.
I've never read or seen. I don't know anything about Lupin the Third. I just know it's super famous, and I didn't even know it was a manga series. I thought it was just like an anime series and maybe some movies or something. I don't know. But I got volume 1 and 2 of Lupin the Third. Again, I know it's some kind of like spy comedy action manga series or something. The art's really good. Kind of plain covers. This is Tokyo Pop, which last time I checked was kind of defunct. I don't know if anything's happened since then, but I can show some of the art. And I don't know if anyone can even see this, but I really like it, actually. It's kind of goofy, but the shading's really nice. And it just, I don't know. It just looks interesting. I mean, that's pretty much the long and the short of it. Maybe I'll go and watch some of the anime or whatever, but that's pretty much it. I just thought it looked good. It was cheap. It was like $3 or $4 a piece, and I was like, why not? So that's kind of that's kind of the first thing I had to talk about. And I actually have a couple of manga things. I have like 2 more, but so I mean that's kind of the first thing. So I'm really bad at this, by the way, but but if you want to go ahead or you want me to go ahead, just let me know. I don't care. I can talk about whatever the hell.
I was gonna say I had a little bit of experience with Lupin the Third. I remember it was on Cartoon Network for a while, and I've watched a few episodes, and I've seen a couple of the movies too, and it's pretty interesting and fun series. So I hope you do get some enjoyment out of that. And there's a lot of anime available for that one that you can check out, like a good amount of different series. And there's even some recent ones that have been going on in the past couple years, like newer series. Yeah. So, well, I mean, a lot of material there to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main problem with even thinking about buying this series is, again, I don't know if Tokyo Pop is. Last time I checked, they weren't. They were bankrupt or something, and I don't know how expensive the rest of the series would be. Mm-hmm. If it's good, if I read these 2 volumes and it's good, I mean, and I go and try to get the rest of the volumes and they're expensive, it's like shit. So, but I know, like you were saying, there's a couple of anime series, and I know that actually there's a I think it's Hayao Miyazaki did one, or Studio Ghibli or something. The Castle of Cagliostro, I think.
Yeah, he did that one.
Was it good? I haven't seen it.
I believe I've seen that one. I watched it a long time ago, if I did. There was one movie in particular that I watched. I remember having it in high school. That was really good. But let me see. I have a list of them right here. I think I watched The Mystery of Mamo.
Okay.
When I was in high school.
What's that?
It was really good.
What's that one about?
I don't entirely remember what it was about, because that's like probably a decade ago. But I remember a friend of mine and I, back when we were about freshmen or sophomores, he was super into Lupin the Third, and I went to a used video store and they had a copy of it, so I bought it so we could watch it one night. And then I bought him as a gift the first 2 or 3 volumes of the manga, and so it was a little Lupin night that we had. And the plot on Wikipedia, just the first line says, Inspector Zenigata travels to Castle Dracula to confirm the execution of Lupin III.
Okay.
So that's how that one starts. And I don't remember much more after that, but I do remember it being really enjoyable. And it's always a series that I've wanted to get more into, but there's so much to it, and I just never had the patience to sit down. But just a quick look has told me that the original manga is 14 volumes long. Okay. And there's a second series called World's Most Wanted that was another 21 volumes.
Okay.
So it's not, crazy long. It's not like One Piece or something.
Yeah, and that's another thing. If I can't find the other volumes for like a cheap price, I can always probably find like some scans or something online to read. But I mean, that's always a possibility.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've been kind of fascinated with it since I heard about Castle Cagliostro, actually, because I saw a lot of ads back in the day, back when I was watching like VHS anime series and stuff, mm-hmm. like Yu Yu Hakusho and all that, bullshit. But I always saw ads for it and stuff, and this was before I was ever familiar with Ghibli or Hayao Miyazaki. But all I knew, from what I remember, and I could be wrong, but I think David Hayter plays Lupin. Maybe. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong, but I believe that there's a lot of different voice actors.
Oh, okay. Like different dubs?
Yeah, well, because each series, each movie, I think a lot of them have different voice actors. It's like I guess you could say different dubs, but I'm going to look it up real quick.
Because I think, at least on one of the dubs for Cagliostro, I think David Hayter played the voice of Lupin. And I love Metal Gear, so I was like, hell yeah. but
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think
So-
you're right. He's on there. He's credited as Sean Barker, but he voices Lupin in Castle of Cagliostro.
Yeah. Sean Barker, that's like the Guyver days, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Back when he was in Guyver 2 or whatever.
Did you get anything else?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I got a couple things. I actually have one novel, and I know this is comic book, but I'm going to talk about it just because I think it's kind of topical. So, but I'll go through like kind of my comics and stuff that I've got, and then go from there, I guess. So, anyone who knows me knows that I am a huge fan of Osamu Tezuka. So I got these 2 volumes. I got them a while ago. Haven't read them yet, but I got Triton of the Sea Volume 1 and 2 here. And if I'm being entirely honest, I don't know shit about this series. I really don't. No, I mean, I'm serious. Every time I see Osamu Tezuka, I'm like, I need that. That's pretty much it. So I don't know jack shit about this series. I really don't. But I'm a huge fan of Tezuka, and these were super cheap. They were like $5 or $6 a piece, and I think these are out of print, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, out of print Tezuka for super cheap, I'm fucking down instantly. I'm all over it. Again, it's Second and Charles. If you have a local Second and Charles, go there. You can get all kinds of crazy deals for awesome comic books, manga, CDs, movies, anything like that. And I'm not being paid for this. I just really like that place. So,
I wish I had one close because I hear so much and see so much about people finding just amazing deals.
oh shit, dude. Hang on. I got, and I showed this in the group, I think. I got the Frank Miller Batman collection in the leather-bound hardcover. Yeah, with the little ribbon there. I got that for $30.
Wow, that's really good.
It's pretty pristine. There's like a dent, and it might not show up on the camera, but there's a dent in the top corner there.
Yeah.
That's it. $30. So, I mean, if you have a local Second and Charles, there's not always a lot of really good deals there. Well, I mean, there's always good deals there, but depending on what you're looking for. If you go there, you can find shit like this for $30. And I've been looking for this book for years. And I was super stoked. I was like, no way. And I also have the Stack Deck Joker book, which I got before that for a pretty decent price. And I saw that and I was like, that's perfect. It's perfect. Because, I mean, what more could you want? They're brother or sister books, leather-bound, nice, excellent hardcover copies put on your shelf. And to get it for that price, just amazing. So if you have a Second and Charles near you, go.
I think there's one a few hours from me. So one day, I might have to make a field trip.
Where do you live? I know you live in Texas.
I live in Austin.
That's right. Big city.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where, but I think there's one definitely in Texas in another city that it would take me a few hours to drive to. I just don't remember exactly where it was when I looked it up.
Well, you should look
it up.
No, yeah. Definitely look into it because, like I said, you can. I mean, I've seen a couple omnibuses at my local. The one that I go to most is in Buford, which is about 15 miles away, I think. It's a fairly big city here. It's not far at all from the biggest mall in Georgia, the Mall of Georgia, actually. So, I mean, you know, if you have one close enough to you, you should definitely go. Because I mean, they've had omnibuses there. They had the Howard the Duck omnibus, but a lot of the omnibuses I've seen there have been they've been marked with like a little bit of Sharpie. So
remainder.
Yeah, remainder mark. Yeah. So I mean, if that doesn't bother you too much, then go for it. I haven't bought them because that does kind of bother me, but I mean, if you're going and just want to read as much material as you can about one character or storyline or whatever, and you find an omnibus there, and you're not bothered by the remainder mark or whatever, go for it. Because I've seen the Avengers Volume 1 Omnibus there. I've seen Mark Millar's Ultimate Avengers there. Howard the Duck Omnibus. And a couple of others that's kind of slipping my mind. But I've seen all kinds of like weird, crazy stuff there. So it's definitely a really cool place to visit if you're looking for potentially cheap, manga or comic books, or even sometimes omnibus. So, and even sometimes they have cheap video games and movies. So, but yeah, man.
Awesome.
Do you have any books you got recently, or?
Boy, howdy do I.
Should I finish first is the question.
I can speed through most of this. If you want
Okay,
me to.
go ahead.
So I wasn't on the show last week, but I'm pretty sure that most of the guys got the stuff that I got last week anyway, which was like the Justice League International and Justice League Darkseid War Omnibus. So I'm not going to show that one. But I don't think anyone got the chance to show off Grayson just yet.
Oh, yeah.
So that one came out recently. This was a series that I really enjoyed when it was coming out in single issues, written by Tim Seeley along with Tom King, about Dick Grayson whenever he was presumed dead after the events of, what's it called, Forever Evil.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really cool super spy series that I saw people there like, would you compare it to 007? And I would say, I haven't seen much of this, but I feel like it falls more in line with the old British Avengers with Steed and Peel, is kind of the style of stuff it has, at least from the Steed and Peel stuff that I've seen and read. But it's a really good little book. It's a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be, because I forgot that there was some extra material to supplement the 20 or so issues of the actual series. And it's got some really great artwork by, let's see if I can find a good page here, by Mikel Janin. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Okay.
Janin. So really pretty book. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's absolutely fine, because not everything is for everyone. But if what I said sounds pretty good to you, and you're not expecting it to read like a regular old Nightwing series, then you'll probably dig it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because he has a gun on the cover there, and
yeah,
I mean, does he use it? Is the question.
He puts it to use. I don't recall if he actually uses it fatally or not, but there's definitely some arms usage in there. It's a really, really good series. I'd recommend at least trying out the first paperback or so. Okay. And then Jeremy just asked, does it have the whole Robin War story, or is it missing issues? It does not have the whole Robin War story. It doesn't have the issues that tied in. It just has, actually, let me double check so I can quote exactly what's in this book. It is, it contains Grayson issues 1 through 20, Grayson Futures End number 1, Secret Origins number 8, Grayson Annual 1 through 3, Robin War 1 and 2, and Nightwing Rebirth number 1. So I think it's just missing an issue or two of We Are Robin, and I think the Robin Son of Batman series, but you can still read it, and it's pretty good anyway. Like, you can understand what's going on, and that storyline in particular, it was one of those where you could kind of take the pieces of each story, like each series, and understand what was going on for that character. So I don't think it suffers from that. But moving to the next book I got from InStock was Bloodshot Reborn, Volume 2 from Valiant. This is the second half of the series written by Jeff Lemire, So it contains issues 14 through 18 of Bloodshot Reborn, Bloodshot USA 1 through 4, Bloodshot Reborn number 0, Bloodshot Reborn 2016 Annual, Book of Death, The Fall of Bloodshot number 1, 4000 AD Bloodshot number 1, and Bloodshot's Day Off, along with a bunch of extras and whatnot. So a lot of cool stuff in here. Artwork by different people like Doug Braithwaite, Renato Guides, Kano, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Cool looking shit. And then here's one by Grant Morrison, a double volume. It's got 2 stories in it, Sebastian O and the Mystery Play. Sebastian O being a 3-issue series that Morrison wrote with Steve Yoel. That's kind of set in kind of a steampunky era. It's about a character who's, it's been a really long time since I've read this, but he's mixed up with like, it's supposed to be about, quote, dandyism.
Okay.
And he does a lot of stuff as far as drugs, sex, and all that mess.
Well, of course, it's Grant Morrison.
The second story here of the Mystery Play is art by John J. Muth. So it's like this nice painted artwork. This one, again, is another series I read a long time ago. So it's been a long time since I've read it. And I love getting books like these because it gives me a kind of a reason to go back and reread these stories that I haven't seen in a long time. And it kind of just, it's like a murder mystery type story that's supposed to harken back to Morrison's days when he was in the theater, apparently. So it's a pretty fun little story. And if you're a Morrison fan, I definitely recommend picking up the book. It's not too expensive. It's a cover price. Oh, wow, this is more expensive than I thought it was. Never mind. I thought it was $25, but it's $30, and for some reason that $5 sets it up a little bit beyond for me. Especially
I love that swift change of perspective there.
Yeah, I was disappointed in seeing that it was actually a standard-sized hardcover and not deluxe size, simply because every other Morrison book has been put into deluxe edition, and this is the odd duck. So it's kind of weird to me, but if you're a fan and you haven't read those 2 books, it could be worth it to pick it up, or at least buy the old paperbacks of either one of them. I don't think either of them are out of print or hard to find. Then I got a couple of paperbacks from Half Price Books yesterday. I don't have Second and Charles, but I've got plenty of Half Price books. I've read one of these. I've read this one, Moon Knight, Volume 1 by Jeff Lemire, titled Lunatic. This is the first of 3 volumes of his run, collecting issues 1 through 5 during the all-new, all-different Marvel Now era. Has artwork by Greg Smallwood. Very good-looking stuff. If you're a fan of the character of Moon Knight, I haven't heard many Moon Knight fans that were disappointed in this run. So I would definitely recommend it. And it's got pretty stellar artwork throughout and a really nice cerebral story. And I know that, John P., you're watching the stream right now. It has Stocco artwork in there. So I know that you will enjoy that. And it also has some good Francavilla artwork that pops up, because it starts telling the story from the perspective of multiple personalities, and each personality has a different art style to it. So it's pretty neat. And then I also got a book that I haven't read, and that was Kaiju Max Volume 1. Justin from the group recommended this several times, and I never got around to buying it, but they had it for $5 at half price yesterday. So I was like, wow, I have to get that. It looks really cool. Basically, I've understood that it's a bunch of kaiju giant monsters that are locked up in like a kaiju prison, and kind of their like a drama story dealing with them in prison and stuff like that.
Okay.
So pretty cool. And then the rest of my haul is a bunch of manga. And I'm going to talk about the manga that you asked me about just a few minutes ago.
real quick, actually.
Yeah. What's
real
up?
quick. Sell me on Moon Knight, because I've heard a lot about Moon Knight, and
Like,
from
as
what I
a
understand,
character?
well, I mean, just in general, because I've heard a lot about him. I've heard he's kind of this schizophrenic, kind of like crazy guy, but that's literally basically all I know about him. Like, what kind of sets him apart from other superheroes or characters, aside from the fact that he's kind of this mentally disturbed character, which, don't get me wrong, is interesting, but
Yeah.
it's I'm curious legitimately, because he seems like an interesting character, but I don't know much about him. Is there any perspective that you have that you could kind of speak to me about, that could kind of I guess shed some light on the character?
So my first exposure to actually reading Moon Knight was in the Brian Bendis run, which I really enjoyed. But going forward, I heard that his run is like nothing like what Moon Knight's actually supposed to be like. So I don't know if that's a very good representation of the character. But I have to say I did really like it, and I like the artwork by Alex Maleev. But then, so I started to read the other titles. I read the run by Warren Ellis, and it starts delving into, it's because what Bendis does is he kind of makes his separate personalities just be these voices that have taken the form of other superheroes, Wolverine, Captain America, and Spider-Man, just talking to him in his head and kind of helping him to get through different stuff. And I'm going to pause for a second to welcome Jess, who just showed up on the live stream.
Yo, what's up, home pizzas?
Everyone was asking about you in the chat.
I had a minor family emergency that could only be taken care of by taking my daughter out to dinner.
Awesome.
And her boss.
I'm glad that you got to quell anything, and I hope she's doing well.
Well, she's out of a job, but she's they want her back for 2 weeks, and to tie up some loose ends, and her boss is firmly in her corner. Her boss got let go too.
Oh, man.
Her boss said that she's going to do everything in her power to help Kelly land a job quickly. So
that's awesome.
Cause for optimism. But I may get Enterprise rent-a-car information from you anyway, just in case.
Yeah, for sure.
That might be a viable career option for her at this point. I think she's exactly your age. So how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, she's 26. So this might be just right for her.
I mean, it was a good move for me. I got out of school and I really didn't know what else to do. And I mean, they had openings and they pay very well and have very good benefits. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah. What's up, Nicholas?
What's up, Jess?
How you doing?
Good, man. How about you?
Good, good. Happy to be here. Sorry I'm late.
About time, man.
Well, Nick was asking me what is a draw to Moon Knight, because I was mentioning that I got the first volume of Lemire's series.
Oh, yeah.
And I was talking about a little bit about it, so I know that you've read some Moon Knight, and you can definitely chime in and kind of fill in some blanks for me, because I'm not always the best at remembering 100% of stuff. But I was just mentioning that I really enjoyed the Bendis run, but a lot of people mentioned that it's not really Moon Knight like as he's usually portrayed. And Bendis's run kind of gave him these different personalities, these different voices in his head that took the form of Captain America, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. And it really focused on that. And then by the end, that run kind of worked as like a lead-in to more or less Age of Ultron. But it was still a fun series. But apparently, when the Ellis series came out, the Warren Ellis series is where it really got back to what Moon Knight kind of is. And it's a lot to do with his connection to Khonshu, which is like, I believe, an Egyptian god or goddess. God?
Yeah.
God of death? I'm not 100% on
I'm not sure on what the god is. I know it's Khonshu.
But yeah, it's Khonshu, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Mark Spector, who is Moon Knight, I believe he got the powers because he had died, and it resurrected him. I'm not 100% because I haven't read all the old stuff.
Right.
So the new series, the Warren Ellis series, kind of goes back to dealing with that, and it goes back to him having these multiple personalities, but it's not personified by other heroes. It's actually personalities that he's created and have depth to themselves.
There's a in that arc, there's a wordless issue where no words are spoken, and he's and it sounds boring. He's going up like this multi-level building, kicking ass as he does it, and no words are spoken, and it's one of the best comic books I've ever seen. That Warren Ellis run, it's like
nice. Yeah.
It's so good. I was really sad it was only 6 issues.
It's pretty accessible too.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, going into it, I really didn't know much about Moon Knight except for apparently that I was wrong to like Bendis' series, and that Bill Sienkiewicz did a ton of awesome artwork on the old stuff, and I also knew that he had a kick-ass costume.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically just stark white costume. The Lemire series, though, I feel like goes even more into his multiple personality stuff, because as I explained, there's eventually the series starts being shown from different perspectives, and each personality has a different artist, so a different style of art to portray the story.
Oh, okay.
And it all kind of comes to a head at the end. I don't really know what else to say. He's just really just kind of a not entirely mentally stable superhero that is not concerned with using, like, it doesn't bother him to use a little more violence.
Yeah,
I guess
I guess what I'm getting is there's just a lot you can do with him, I guess, because of the multiple personalities that he has, and just kind of I don't know. It's from what you're explaining to me, it seems kind of complicated, but it seems like there's a lot you can do with a character who kind of has these multiple viewpoints and multiple just general personalities, where you can there's just a wide range of things you can do with him. And also, like you were saying, he's kind of this kind of, I don't want to say Punisher-esque, but he's less stable. Therefore, I guess
he's more like a less stable Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I've heard a lot of comparisons to. Like he's kind of like Batman, but like a Batman who just doesn't give a shit. Like he'll just kill the shit out of people. That's my understanding. So
you can read that Warren Ellis book cold. You don't need to know anything about Moon Knight whatsoever, and read that book and totally love it.
Okay.
I think that'd be also my best recommendation, because it's one volume, it's not very expensive. Like, I think you can still find it for about $8, and it's just a really good self-contained story that I think would make you interested in reading more Moon Knight. Mm-hmm. I personally enjoyed after Ellis was a run by Brian Wood, and then a run by single volume run by Brian Wood and a single volume run by Cullen Bunn, and I enjoyed both of those. But then when Jeff Lemire takes over during All New, All Different and does the story that I was talking about, I think that one just like is really good because of the idea of the different perspectives, and the whole thing is basically he's taken into this I don't want to say asylum, but I guess asylum, mm-hmm. and he's being like looked after by all these doctors and stuff, but the layers are kind of showing and cracking away, and he's realizing that maybe he's not really in an asylum, but then everyone's kind of trying to convince him, like, no, dude, you're just insane. You are here. Everything's not what you think it is. And it's just this really weird, like, kind of trippy story that wraps up in about 15 issues very well. It tells a really well self-contained story. that has a great start, middle, and end. So if you like the Warren Ellis run, I would definitely recommend trying out the Lemire run.
Okay.
I hope that did a little bit to give you some information.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's just I guess he's kind of a complex character from what it seems like, at least.
Yeah.
In terms of his storylines, not necessarily in terms of the character himself, but no, yeah, definitely. I'll look into that Lemire run. That sounds pretty interesting.
Well, he's like an ogre. He's got layers.
Yeah. And he lives in a swamp, so he's perfect for me, right?
But let me run through a bunch of these other manga real quick that I grabbed. So I mentioned earlier that I was doing some eBay shopping at work, and I was finding really good deals. I grabbed a bunch of volumes of Shaman King for like $2 each.
Nice.
I don't know if you're familiar with the series at all, but
I am.
Awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed it back when it was like being published in the US when I was about in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted to buy it and actually own it because I read it in Shonen Jump magazine and then I read it online after they pulled it out of the magazine. And I always wanted to buy it but never got a chance to. And then I found, a couple months ago, I found the first 10 volumes at Half Price Books for about $40. And then I found all these other volumes for about $2 each. So I have another 2 or 3 on the way right now. So I effectively have about half the series, and I spent about $50 or $60 on it. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. And
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely gonna reread it at some point because it warrants a reread. And then the book that I told you about a little while ago, the manga that I kind of completely
the Blind Buy, right?
Yeah, the completely blind buy was this series called Animal Land, and I talked about it the last time I was on the show because I had read the first 2 volumes, and I got the next 2 volumes also for $2 each on eBay, and I continued reading that, and it continues to be pretty interesting. Basically, the idea behind the series is this kid is found as a baby by this what's supposed to be a tanuki, and it's kind of like a sounds like the Jungle Book because the animals raise the kid, but the kid all of a sudden can talk to all of the animals, but the animals can't speak within species. So he's kind of a translator between all the species. I don't know how he learned how to talk to all the different animals, but he did. And so his goal is kind of to help different species get along with each other. So like the predators and stuff are not going to eat these other animals because basically he's like, if you can talk to something, you shouldn't, like if you can understand what something is thinking, you wouldn't want to eat it.
Yeah.
And kind of, actually, I feel like it would interest, like you're a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So that kind of like speaks to you a little bit, I would think.
Yeah. Like an empathy kind of thing.
Yeah. That's definitely what it is. And he talks to other animals and stuff, and he kind of talks them into, he's like, you can't eat this animal because it has feelings. It feels, and you can't eat something like if you know that it feels and you feel empathy for it. And he kind of starts talking other species into eating just vegetables and fruits and whatnot. And then it starts getting to where he meets like some of the other predators, and by the 3rd volume and the 4th volume, he meets this young girl, which is interesting because he, until this point, believed that he was the only human that exists. So he meets this girl, and she has the same ability to speak to all the animals, but she's been raised by a pack of lions. So she eats meat, she eats other animals, they prey on other animals, but he helps to defend her pride from being basically killed by another stronger, larger pride of lions, and so they have a little bit of loyalty to him and his different animals. But by the end of volume 4, he meets a 3rd kid who is like totally every series has to have that one like gothic looking character. And that's totally the character for this series. and he has like the entirely opposite idea of how the world should work. That everything should just die, and he needs to destroy everything. So the series is going to a weird, different direction now, and I'm really interested in continuing to read it, mostly because I've heard that it gets very, very good. And I know that it also hits a time skip where they go from being children to being like teenagers or young adults at volume 7. So I'm truly interested in seeing where it goes from there, because then I think it becomes more of a shonen title and less of like a animals talking to each other title. And if I can continue to find these books as cheap as I have been, like $2 a book, I definitely have no qualms in continuing to read it. But it's pretty interesting. I don't have a final verdict yet. I'll have to report back once I finish reading, but it led me to be interested in buying another series. I don't know if you're familiar with Zatch Bell.
Oh yeah. No, I used to watch the anime. It's been a long time. It's been a long time, but I saw the anime.
Wasn't he in High School Musical?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Zatch Bell, my favorite. He's my favorite cast member. But I watched that. It had to have been when I was in middle school, like probably my later years of middle school. And I remember really liking it, and I actually bought the first couple of volumes back then, but it's been so long since I've seen it, I don't remember anything about it aside from the fact that you have this high schooler, he finds this like doll baby thing, which is Zatch, and he's some electricity demon or some crap. It's been a long time, so I don't even know what to say about it, honestly. I'm gonna step out real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll finish up here. Well, it's the same creator as Animal Land, and the reason I grabbed it was because I was out of curiosity seeing if I could find it for cheap, and I found the first 10 books for $10.
Oh, wow.
So that was hard. Even if I don't enjoy it, that's a pretty easy, I'll do that. A third of the series for $10. Even if I don't like it, I feel like it's worth it just to try something new out.
What part of the show are we in right now?
We're still showing off our new stuff.
Stuff.
We're gonna do the topic of things that we're ashamed we haven't read.
Ah, okay, good.
So I don't know if you have a ton of stuff to show off, but I feel like
I have a ton of stuff I'm ashamed I haven't read. I can promise you that.
Well, that sounds like a good show then.
If I showed you my haul for the week, it would take a half an hour. I don't know how, but I got a stack of books. I don't know what happened. I wasn't high, I wasn't drunk, I wasn't anything, but I mean, I got a stack of books like this, and I don't even remember that I made that big of an order. I think I just made a bunch of small orders, thinking, I just am ordering $50 worth to get free shipping, and I think I made like 6 of those orders or something. And I'm like, 3%. I better make a couple orders here. So I'm going to refrain from showing that, because that would take up 20 minutes of the show. I mean, I can talk about what I read, but if I talk about what I bought, it will take up way too much valuable time.
Let me just show Nick. I was showing that I got the first 10 volumes of
Zatch Bell?
Because
nice.
For $10.
Did they start reprinting it or something? Because I had not seen it like anywhere for the longest time, but I went to my local Books A Million and I saw a bunch of copies of it. So I didn't know if they're reprinting it or what.
I don't think so. I mentioned when I was showing the first time, it's the same creator as Animal Land.
Yeah. I heard you say that.
So. Curious about checking it out, and I looked on eBay, and there was someone selling it. It was $10 for all 10 books.
Okay.
So it was a real easy decision to be like, even if I don't like it, I didn't waste a lot of money.
Gotcha. Yeah.
for
So
a third of the series.
can you give me the TLDR of the story because I probably missed it?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't read it yet. I just got
Oh,
it like
okay.
a day ago.
Oh, okay. So
I just got them in.
you probably don't know like anything about it.
I remember seeing like maybe the first episode when it was on Cartoon Network, but I never watched it because I thought it looked pretty silly. But honestly, the manga's artwork is a lot better than what the anime looked like. Looks kind of neat. But I know you said you have more stuff that you got.
Who, me or Jess?
Well, Jess isn't going to show all the stuff he got because apparently he bought too much stuff.
Come on, Jess.
I mean, I can go get it, but it's going to take 20 minutes of our time.
Well,
Okay. Well,
Nick, just
yeah. Let's see. I'll go over a couple things, and then I mean, I've got.
we should probably.
I've got two more. There's a lot of echo. I don't know if that's me or you.
I don't have any echo.
No, you
it's
don't.
probably me.
But I do too. Maybe
so
I'll
I've
sign
got-
out and sign back in.
Who, me or you?
I'm going to and see if it corrects my echo.
Okay. I mean, I've got two comic books and one novel, which I haven't read, but so I got this not too long ago for pretty cheap, and I've been looking for this for a while. Savage Sword of Conan. I mean, I bought the Conan short stories, novels, and stuff. So, and I read a lot of that, and I really got into it. So I've been looking for this volume for a while. So I found it at a local comic book store in Atlanta for really cheap. And it's just awesome. Really thick volume. And there's no echo on your side, right, Riley?
I'm not hearing anything.
Okay, well, hopefully the recording isn't catching it because that's going to be obnoxious because it's annoying me. But so it's this really thick paperback volume here with a lot of awesome art here, black and white, just gorgeous stuff. And I don't know if this kind of retells the actual Conan stories that I've read or anything like that, but I do know it's more Conan.
Let's see, do I have an echo? No, that sucks.
Sorry, I'm fixing something right now. Ah, shit. Sorry, I muted you, Nick, for a second because I was trying to fix. Apparently, you have an echo on yours, and now it's not letting me unmute, which is dumb.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just trying to fix the mute that I placed on Nick.
Oh, I didn't know you could mute him.
Yeah, I can mute you too.
Don't you dare.
That's weird. It's not letting me. Hey, Nick, why don't you hop out and then join back in real quick? If I'm assuming you can still hear me. Because I accidentally fucked everything up. Shit, if I'm the cause of the echo, I can't do anything because I can't get out of it.
Yeah, if we lose you, we lose the whole feed. All right, I'm picking up some books that I'm ashamed that I haven't read.
All right, I still can't get rid of the mute for some reason, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to eject you from this chat, and then you can join back with that link that I had sent you before. Ejected.
Now we can talk about him. So the admins are in charge in this. God, I'm echoing bad too.
Shit, then it must be me, but I can't do anything unless...
Let me sign out and I'll sign back in again. Maybe that'll help.
Well, I can't, because if it's me, I can't sign out and sign back in, or else I'm going to close the show off.
Let me try it and see if it helps me. So now you can talk about me and Nick.
Ha ha.
Talk this way. Man, that blows.
See, I don't hear anything, but that's apparently because I'm the one that caused the issue.
They're complaining that we're echoing.
Jess, I have an idea. Oh no, I'm alone. Oh no, I'm alone. Oh, never mind, I'm not alone anymore.
Here I am. But
Okay, I have an idea.
I am
Here's what we're gonna do.
echoing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna sign into the Omnibros
Okay, I'll have to go get the password and stuff. Let me go
I can
get
give it to you.
Okay. Send it to me.
We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
Oh, it's chained. What did you give me the password?
Yeah, it's on the chat.
And what's the email address? Because I think I have to sign in with that.
Well, shit, I don't know.
How'd you sign in?
It was already loaded. It's omnibroslive@gmail.com.
Okay. So you want me to sign in and try and host it?
Yeah, so if you sign in and then you get back onto the chat, you should be under the account so I can get off and you can get on.
Okay, I'll try that.
And I won't close it, I won't end it.
I got to sign out of OmniDog's vault.
Am I back?
I can hear you.
Nice.
Are you still hearing me echo?
I am still hearing the echo, unfortunately.
Maybe.
Let me try lowering my volume, maybe. Is there any way you can lower my volume without muting?
Am I still echoing?
I don't think you're echoing. I think it's me.
I don't think so, because usually whoever can't hear the echo is the one who's causing the echo. I'm going to grab some headphones.
Okay.
Jude, what are you doing?
While you're grabbing headphones, I'm going to do something real quick.
Does this solve the echo?
I don't know. Jess left. What the hell? Riley, this is a disaster.
So, Jess, yeah, this is fucking awful. Jess went to sign into the other profile so that if it's me that's causing the echo. Oh, this works. Apparently this works.
It's your fault, Riley.
It was my fault. It was always me.
Damn it. And it was going so well.
Well, I know you were talking about the Savage Conan swords.
Yes, the Savage sword Conans. Yes. So back to what I was talking about. It's kind of a beat-up volume that I bought. It's not horrible, but it's one of those phone book volumes. Like I said, nice black and white artwork. Haven't read it, like I said, but I enjoy a lot of the Conan stories I've read. You know, Elephant on the Sword. Holy shit! See, now you're messing me up. Phoenix on the Sword. Tower of the Elephant, I think. There's like, what is the name of it? There's just a bunch of stories, and I can't even think of them right now because everything that just happened. But a lot of really great Conan stories that I read. And like I said, I don't know if this retells or if it's just kind of like a continuation of kind of the Conan mythos. But if you're a Conan fan, definitely pick up a couple of these volumes. It's good stuff. Great artwork. There's titties in it. Titties are always good. So I don't know if I can say that on your podcast. I'm sorry. I'm kind of vulgar, but
it's okay.
Basically, blood, guts, and boobs. What else do you want? I mean, someone left the call again. Was that Jess?
I think Jess is on a now unnecessary quest to join under the other profile.
Do you want me to message him and be like, dude, it was Riley's speakers? Or
I just messaged him.
Okay.
Did you have any other books before we go into the main?
Yeah. And this is the big one I was talking about. Or do you want me to talk about the topical but not comic book one? Not that it matters, I guess.
Okay, so when we get to the topic, then do the topical one.
Oh no, I mean like not topical in terms of what we were talking about earlier, but I'm talking about topical pop culture wise. If that makes sense.
Oh, not relating to the topic of the show though.
Yeah, not the one we were talking about earlier.
Okay. All right, we'll go. You do you, boo.
Okay. Well, I bought.
Okay, I made it.
Hey, Jess.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Now that I spoiled it,
sorry.
Stephen King's It. I bought Stephen King's It after watching the movie because the movie was awesome. And a lot of people make Stranger Things comparisons. If you haven't seen Stranger Things, watch it. If you haven't seen It, watch it.
I need to see it.
It's really good. So much so that I bought a 1,000+ page novel.
Holy smokes.
And I haven't even started this because I haven't finished Akira because I'm a lazy piece of shit. I read literally all of a span of like 4 or 5 days, and I haven't started the last volume because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But so when I finish that, and I finish the next book I'm going to talk about, I'll probably start reading this. Really interesting plot for those of you who don't know, haven't seen the movie, or just don't know much about it. It's a story about a interdimensional demon who feeds off the fear of people and uses that fear to devour them. And there's a lot of weird stuff that wasn't in the movie that I only know from looking into it, about like, interdimensional space turtles and Stephen King snorting like mounds of cocaine and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to reading it. It's going to take me a while to finish, obviously, because it's a huge book, but the movie, I've always kind of been interested in reading Stephen King. So there's that out of the way. And if you want, I can go ahead and go over my last book, or I can throw it to one of you guys, hot potato, whatever.
Go into the last book, and then I think we need to start the topic after that.
Yeah.
So, Jess, I'm sorry you don't get to talk about anything today.
Yeah, fuck you, Jess.
Well, why did I rush home from dinner?
Just so you could appease all the people that were asking where you were.
Yeah. That and because we wanted you here earlier, but you took too long, man.
I got here as quickly as I could. My daughter had to walk between two homeless guys sitting on her doorstep shelling pistachios because I didn't give her a ride home. I rushed home. I rushed home here.
That's very specific.
Yeah. You had to take an Uber home and walk between these pistachio shelling homeless guys. Well, you don't want to know what I read? I read 3 books. 4 books, 5 books.
Yes, I don't care.
Maybe the audience does.
Riley, stop being an asshole.
Fucker.
I'm actually tearing up. Go ahead, Jess.
No, we can go on.
No, go ahead, Jess. Don't let Riley discourage you.
Actually, I can take this time and find some more books that I'm embarrassed that I haven't read yet.
Wait. We're getting to that.
I know. I need to go pull them from the shelf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You do that then, and I'll just go over my last book.
Okay.
As I completely struggle to think of what I'm going to say about it. The last book that I bought, and arguably, for me at least, the most important book, and I've read a decent portion of it because I have a hardcover, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, Riley. I hope you don't mind if I plug my giveaway that I plugged like 2 or 3 times already. But
it's okay.
But so naturally, I'm Alec Holland, the Swamp Thing. I am the Swamp Thing. Anyone who disagrees can eat my ass. But I bought, obviously, ordered it the day it came out, the Swamp Thing Bronze Age Omnibus. I straight up nearly crapped my pants when I heard this was coming out, and I'm not exaggerating. I think there was a gopher head poking out of my butthole when I saw this listing on Amazon.
God. I gave up my time for this?
Yes. You signed up for this, Jess.
My poor
but I was super excited when this was announced, and I waited months and months, and I'm like, oh God, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? October. Oh my God, it's not even close, blah, blah, blah. But so I finally got this in the mail about a week ago. Just awesome book. Like I said, I read the first 12 issues when I had the Roots of the Swamp Thing hardcover, which I still have. Spoiler alert, giveaway. And also has the House of Secrets 92, which is the first appearance. And I think this also has Saga of the Swamp Thing 1 through 19, as well as Swamp Thing Annual 1. So this book's just beautiful. Just the greatest gift that God has ever given us, period. So slipcover off. I'm going to go ahead and take show you guys. Plain and black because DC hates us and wants us all to die of every horrible disease known to mankind. But still, very well put together book. And I think Riley is probably the main reason that the binding's gotten so good, because the binding's amazing now. It's been getting better.
That's probably true.
No, straight up, because Riley is OmniGod, so the binding's just great. It's really fantastic. And it's just that classic Bronze Age art, very colorful. And if you've never read any of the original Swamp Thing stuff, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's truly brilliant.
Gorgeous stuff. And I know Jess has done a review of it, so I really don't know what to say. I'm just super stoked that a omnibus of my favorite superhero, or I guess comic book character of all time, has been released. And I don't know what to say to that, Jess, but
I'm just going to appear as Spider-Man during this whole thing.
okay, I'll match you.
Well, I was very happy about that book coming out, and I was also very happy for you when that book came out.
You should be. Because like a little like tear, like in those littering commercials or whatever.
Oh yeah,
with the Native Americans, I just
Native American
straight down my face when I heard that was coming out. And again, and a lot of people are saying this, I'm also super excited because that means maybe Alan Moore.
Maybe.
I mean, and of course I like the original runs more, but I mean, I really loved Alan Moore's run. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna stop fanboying. Yeah, that's my piece. I mean, I can't really say too much because I haven't read anything past the original Lin Wein stuff. But I'm just super stoked. So yeah, hot potato.
So Jess, did you want to talk about something?
Oh, you're going to give me a chance to speak?
I guess.
No, fuck you. What?
Jess is mad at you, Riley.
I am frosted.
Yeah.
My cookies are frosted, man. What? I need to sign out of the Omnibus Collectors thing because someone keeps pinging. It's Raleigh Smith, and he should be watching this instead of pinging me. I don't know. Are we getting into the topic, or are we talking about what we read?
Well, Jess, I'll let you decide that.
Well, I'm happy to start off with my embarrassment. I am extremely embarrassed about the following 3 books that I not only haven't read, but one of them still in the shrink wrap. I haven't even remotely come close to reading it. I'm extremely embarrassed to say that I have a crazy backlog. I really don't need to buy any more books at my advanced age. I have enough to keep me reading till I'm 80. It's really stupid. I really don't need any more books, yet I keep buying them. The first one, everyone wants it. Hardly anybody has it. I got it for dirt cheap when it first came out because I heard it was good. Still haven't read it. Annihilation. I'm embarrassed that I have not even, it's still in the seal. I haven't even opened Annihilation. And I'm sure it could go to a loving person out there who would read it immediately. Can't have it, but I'm saying it could go to somebody who would treat it better than I have, which is to put it on a shelf and not even acknowledge it. So I'm embarrassed about that because it's supposed to be so great. The other run, I'm really embarrassed. I made such a big deal out of one of the books in this run with Riley. And I mean, it was one of the most liked posts we've ever had. And I still haven't read the run. And I went through hell and high water to get myself a copy of the book. Then I went through double hell and high water to get Riley a copy of the book. And I still haven't read the series. And that's Punisher Max, which is supposed to be even better than the Punisher Garth Ennis Omnibus that everybody always wanted, which I have read, but I haven't read Marvel Knights run, right? But I haven't read this, and that's ridiculous because, well, actually, you know what? I did read the first. I have read the first book and first 2 books in this, but I haven't read 3, 4, and 5. So that's embarrassing. You know, for everything I did to get 3, 4, and 5. Well, 3 wasn't very hard to get. But 4 and 5, of course, were bear cats to find, and I haven't read those yet. And I suck because of it. And then the third one that I haven't read yet, I'm really embarrassed about because, like, the whole Marvel universe hinges on this event. It's supposed to be an excellent event that got every worldwide acclaim. Every critic agreed it was great. And it affected the entire Marvel universe and still affects the Marvel universe. and all I know is a certain thing that happened in it, and that's like all my knowledge of the whole thing, and I haven't read it. And I've found for other people multiple copies of every book in this series, yet I still haven't read it myself. House of M. That's really lame. I mean, this is a bedrock Marvel book, and I really should have read it by now, and I just haven't done it yet. It's just really stupid that I haven't read it yet. I'm highly embarrassed about that. It's not a secret shame anymore. I'm glad it's out in the open. My name's Jess, and I'm a dipshit book collector, so
Burn
that's
the
all
witch.
I do. That's right. It's heresy.
I haven't read it either.
Uh-oh. I have two of the ones I was going to mention that I feel bad that I haven't read directly relate to Jess. One of them being what you said, Punisher Max. But my reasoning behind not reading that series yet was that I wanted to wait until I had everything. And then I wanted to wait until that Ennis omnibus was reprinted, and I was going to read Ennis and then the Marvel Knights and then the Marvel Max stuff. So my plan is still kind of in motion, and it's going to be panned out pretty soon now. So I don't feel as bad about that. What I do feel like bad about is that then they announced the omnibus, and I was like, well. So I asked Jess, and
there goes Jess's gift out the window.
He said that he would reluctantly be okay with me gifting the book, and then I was also given book 5 as a gift to someone else in the group, absolutely free of cost, aside from like shipping if you're outside of the U.S. But whenever that second Punisher Max omnibus gets solicited, I've mentioned several times I do plan on giving those books away absolutely free, because I feel like it would be selfish of me to hold on to them when they're getting reprinted, when I know that there are other people who would prefer to have it in that format. And I think that
shipping for book number 4 was a plane ticket, so you're going to have to charge $350 for shipping for that to even up the deal, because I flew that thing out to you.
But I got you a Lincoln rental car, apparently.
Oh, that's right. I got a giant rental car because of you. That's right. They took me to the wrong part of the car lot, and he said, what the hell? You can have this car. It was like 5 times the size of anything that I've ever driven before.
It's fun, though. I like driving cars that big. You're like, I can kill everyone on the road.
Oh, I know. I owned the Texas highways. It was great.
But yeah, I do feel bad about having not read that run. But like I said, I feel worse about the fact that it's going to be replaced.
That's okay.
But
you took it in the spirit of a gift, and it was given as a gift, and we got pleasure out of that moment, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Then we got haircuts and went to the candy store, so it was cool.
I took you to the candy shop.
That's right.
Oh God!
But
Stop.
I'm excited to be able to. I'm excited to be able to pass that feeling on, though, to someone else. Because, like I said, there are people who very actively prefer the oversized hardcovers.
Right.
And I know that it would be selfish of me to hold on to it because I'm not one of those people. And it would be better to pass on the gift and pass on that feeling and, like, the, I guess, maybe, quote, legacy of it to someone else who would appreciate it. But yeah, so that's one of them. The other one that relates to you is that I only read the first volume of Concrete during the great Concrete read-a-thon. And I felt awful because it was great. Like, the first volume was great, and then I just never continued reading it because everyone completely just shat the bed on that one.
We had such big plans for that read-a-thon.
Yeah, huge, lofty plans for this read-a-thon, and it just did not pan out at all. And oh man, I feel really bad to this day because I look at the shelf and I'm like, oh yes, Concrete, but I'm reading this. I felt awful. And then the third one that I'm embarrassed that I haven't read is one that like so many people go through, you know, so many hoops to get these books, and I've had them for a while, and I actually like one of them is the only book that I ever bought for over cover price. And that's the Starman Omnibus series.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
Yeah, and I've heard so many good things, and
The what now series?
Starman.
Oh, yeah.
By James Robinson with Tony Harris. And I went through a lot to get all 6 volumes. I actually bought volume 3 for like almost 2 times cover price just to complete the series. And I still, years later, I haven't read it. And it's something that just taunts me because I know how well it's renowned, and I want to sit down and read it, but it's also such a commitment because it's like 80 plus issues of material, and I'm like, man, when am I gonna sit down and like actually have the time to go through all of that? But I'll do it. I will definitely do it.
That cracks me up about Concrete. I forgot about it.
I feel really, really shitty about it though. Like
I forgot all about that read-a-thon and what how kerflooey it all went.
Because it was like we got so many people into like to do it. They were like, "Yeah, let's do the read-a-thon." It was cool because they were cheap too.
Yeah,
like
they're like $7.
They're not
a piece.
expensive. Yeah, which was awesome because it's like, you know, $50 or something, and it total, and so it was easy to grab, and they're all in print, so it's not like it was difficult to get through or anything. And then we just did the first volume, and I think like something else came out at the same time, and I was like, well, I gotta read that right now.
Was that earlier this year, or was that last year even?
Last year, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're probably coming up on the year anniversary of it.
We should reinstate it, but be a little less lofty with our goals.
Get to book 2.
Like read book 2 over the course of a month.
Okay, I could sign up for that.
Because they're not thick. Like you should be able to read something like this in a week or less, but apparently that's too much to ask for me.
Good choices.
Those are mine. Nick, what books are you embarrassed to have not read?
Oh shit, I got a couple, man. I mean, I really need to read a lot more of my collection. There's a lot of stuff that I'm super interested in that I haven't read. But I mean, there's a couple really big ones, stuff that I even own, or there's one that I've owned for literally like 2 or 3 years I haven't read, and I'll get to that in a second. But I'll start with one that I bought about a year ago. I bought all of them, all of the, and this is going to give it away, library editions, and I haven't read any of it. None of it. And that is Hellboy. I have all, I don't have the newest one, but I have 1 through 6. Yeah, 1 through, I think, 6. And these editions are just gorgeous. It's been there so long, there's probably dust covering this son of a bitch. But so, I mean, I saw the Hellboy movies, both of them. First one was really awesome. Second one was pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But I really liked them. I liked the movies a whole lot. And these came out, and they probably started coming out probably even before I started reading comics. I don't know when they started coming out, but yeah. So, I mean, one of the members of the group was actually selling Volume 1 open, barely read, and 2 unopened, and I can't remember because it's been a while. But so I bought those from him, and then I bought the rest of them in stock, and I haven't read any of them. And it's been probably half a year or more, and I still haven't cracked them open. But I need to, because I'm interested in the characters and the universe and the stories and all that fun stuff. And like I said, I enjoyed the movies a whole lot. So, I mean, I have no excuse. It's just, I guess my only excuse is really I work a lot, and when I'm not working, I'm hanging out with my girlfriend, and when I'm not hanging out with my girlfriend and I'm not working, I kind of just want to sit around and like bask in the gloriousness of laziness, I guess. But so yeah, I mean, I have, like I said, the first six barely cracked them open. I started reading this and I was like, wait, but I have this other story I want to read. So that's one of them. That's a big one. Another one that's kind of more recent is the Wonder Woman Omnibus is by George Perez. And obviously, George Perez, one of the greatest comic book artists of all time. And I bought this first volume. I don't even remember. It was not long after it came out. And bought the second volume several months ago when it came out. And I haven't cracked these open either, like at all. I flipped through them just to kind of look at the art, and I was like, that's some nice art. And that's pretty much it. I was like, that's some nice art. I'll get to this later. So, and especially after watching the movie is when I was like, I really need to read some Wonder Woman, but still haven't. So, and there's two big ones. And one of the big ones I bought recently, very, very recently, and it hasn't arrived yet. It should arrive probably either tomorrow or Saturday, I think. But the probably biggest one, and I bought this book years ago, is the Daredevil Frank Miller Omnibus.
Mm.
And I know I'm an embarrassment to the comic book community. I will hand in my comic book fan card if I must. Especially since I love Daredevil. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters. Still haven't read it. I've had this for years. And I tried reading it, and I think it's because the first issues, and I think a lot of people have that sentiment, the first couple issues are kind of hard to get through because it's a little kind of dated. But I feel like if I get past that, I'll start to enjoy it more. But I just haven't done it. So of the books that I own, there's probably the biggest ones that I haven't read. But the one that I'm embarrassed about that I don't have yet, and this is mostly coming from a sort of retrospective perspective, is the Thor by Walter Simonson Omnibus that was recently reprinted. And a big reason that I haven't read it is due to the fact that it was out of print, and naturally it's out of print, it's expensive, I don't want to buy it, I don't have the money. So, but after reading the Orion Omnibus by Walter Simonson, I absolutely fell in love with that run. It's amazing. For anyone who hasn't read it, please read it. You have to. It's so good. If you have a basic knowledge on Fourth World / New Gods, and you will like it. It's amazing. There's a lot of really cool fights between Orion and Darkseid. A lot of interesting kind of plot lines. There's a kind of extremely 90s / early 2000s storyline where Orion kind of becomes this kind of street level character, and it's kind of weird and just, it's hard to describe, but he kind of loses his eyesight and he is like this blind man for a while, and it's just a strange story. So reading that was my first exposure to Walt Simonson, and after reading that I was like, this is damn good stuff. If he can write this good, and this isn't his most renowned comic book run, what am I missing with arguably his most renowned comic book run? So when that got reprinted, I was like, holy shit, I gotta get that. But I just got around to getting it. It should be here again, like I said, in a day or so. So super excited about that. That's one of my most embarrassing things that I haven't read. I fucked that up. Most embarrassing run that I have not read, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's my biggest, probably. So yeah, That was a lot of word salad, but I'm not really good at this. I mean, you know, I do obviously mostly off the cuff videos on my channel, but that's after several takes. So a lot of this stuff that I'm doing right now is pretty much word salad because we're live. But
that's okay. You kind of it takes a little bit to get used to trying to just bleh.
Yeah.
And I definitely fucked that up a lot and put a little ums and ers in there, but that's absolutely okay.
Probably not a million like me, but okay.
I have a really important question for you guys.
What's up?
Does it have to do with poop?
Actually, no.
Okay, good.
Jess asking the important questions.
So, as we know,
What up, bitches?
tomorrow is a pretty big day. The new Mario game comes out.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this to Nick before we got on the show. I think about this question a lot. I think about it quite a bit.
Okay.
So you've got Mario and Luigi, and you've got Wario, and you've got Waluigi. So, and this is topical because, like I said, new Mario game comes out tomorrow. There's Mario, the red brother, and Luigi's the green brother, and then Wario is the yellow imposter, and then you've got the purple imposter of Waluigi. But what about blue and orange? What about blue and orange, guys?
Are you high?
What's the question?
Well, here's the good question though, because I had mentioned this before we even started streaming. Riley, how much peyote have you had with a Native American in the desert?
Enough to turn
Enough
around
is
and
the answer. Okay.
see the person reading the comic. What's going on, Gabe?
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
How the show gets started when I'm here.
Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you, man.
Oh, it's your birthday?
I'm old. I'm catching up to Jess.
Yeah, slowly but surely you'll get there.
Sooner or later.
Well, I was asking about Mario Brothers. Like, so there's not a blue one and there's not an orange one. So what do you do? Do you make? Should there be another duo? Like, should it be a trio of duos, or should it be a duo of trios? Like, should we add a third brother to the Mario Brothers and then a third to the imposters?
I think it's really sad that you've been thinking about this so much.
Jess, I think it's what's really sad. You don't realize that I've thought about this for years.
Okay. Riley. Counter argument. Have you played Super Mario 3D World?
I haven't, but I have it.
You haven't played it?
I've been trying to get my wife to play it with me.
Okay, well, it's not necessarily a Mario brother, but Toad is blue in that. If that makes any difference.
But
I know he's not a Mario brother, but I mean, but okay. Yeah, but what is the question? Like Jess said, what is the question?
Do we need a blue and orange marionette and Wah marionette?
Here's my thought. I don't know what the question is, but we can have two groups of three, and the blue one will be the third Mario brother. And his name can be Giuseppe.
Okay. And the other one's Wah Giuseppe?
Is the
Now you're fucking getting it, Jess.
All right, now I see where you're going.
Why Giuseppe?
What about holy shit, oh my god. This is like derailed so far right now. Oh, okay.
I give up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm crying. I'm crying again. Oh.
Because how good of a name is Wagisepi?
It sounds pretty Italian and racist to me. You're going to have like a hairy chest and a gold stallion on and like an Adidas tracksuit.
Now you're thinking of Russian mobster.
Yeah, you're thinking of Bro Luigi. Bro.
Bro. Come on, bro.
Oh.
I just want to
Oh my god.
I just want to hear Wagisepi. Like saying his own name. I just want to open up a game of Mario Tennis and be like, oh, I can choose from Wario's the best, or like Waluigi, and then it's like Wagisepi. Like that's what I want to hear when I open up my games.
I'm sorry, I'm losing my shit.
Wario's the best. I'm gonna win.
Why not like a fucking Pinocchio or fucking you got me fucked up, Riley. I can't even. Oh my god. Okay. So let's move on to questions that aren't ridiculous, I guess.
Today or what?
What's that now?
So are we on topic or what? What's going on here?
Well, we just got done with the 3 books, or the several books we're ashamed that we never read. Do you have any?
I never read Scott Pilgrim. I don't own it, but I never read it. That seems to be like one of those books that you're supposed to read. I never read Hellboy. I own the first live edition, but never read it.
Yeah, same with Nick.
I don't know. Let me see. Fuck. Think crossed, so that's okay. Oh, I never read Preacher. I own the Absolutes, but I never read them.
Ooh. That's a good one. I haven't finished Preacher.
Do you have any thoughts on possible costumes for Link in the Zelda games?
I think Wagisepi's a good one.
I don't know. He could be like everybody else and just dress up like Harley Quinn. Or Daenerys from Game of Thrones. That seemed to be a popular costume this year.
Yay.
Or Deadpool, like a Deadpool Link.
Huh.
Deadpool Link?
You should cosplay, Riley, as Wagisepi and start your campaign that way.
Yeah, just get a velour suit and some pizza and...
Yeah, a plumber's outfit that's blue, and you're like Wagisepi, and start the campaign.
Riley, if you ever come...
tell you...
Riley, if you ever come to Atlanta for Dragon Con, I will create a Giuseppe and a Wagisepi costume with you.
Okay.
And we will go as Giuseppe and Wagisepi.
You know what, real
I
quick, also,
enjoy this idea.
I've never read New Frontier.
Oh my god.
That's a good one.
I own the Absolutes, but I've never read it.
So that was a good costume idea, but my costume that I actually told I told Gabe that this is what we're doing at work, but my manager and I are doing Arnold and Gerald from Hey Arnold.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Cool.
That's right.
So I'm just
football head.
I'm gonna make a like paper football head and just wear it like a mask.
Awesome. I loved Hey Arnold.
Hey guys, I have to dip out soon.
You do you, boo boo.
All right, man. Yeah, I gotta hit the hay soon. I gotta get to work in the morning. So nice talking to you guys. And I don't think we've met, but Nick, Alec, Colin, whatever you want to say. Before I go, however, I'm going to go over my giveaway. As I said earlier, I've got
I'm
a
going to
couple.
kick you out right now.
What's up?
I'm going to kick you out. No, I'm just kidding.
Hang on, man. I'm just going to go over it real quick because I have a video, but it's super long, so I'm just going to do it here now. I'm giving away a couple things here for my Halloween giveaway. I'm giving away a copy of Killers by Iron Maiden, Roots of the Swamp Thing, and your choice of any horror movie you want. That's going to be the first place prize of my giveaway. And second place will be Batman Gotham by Gaslight, paperback, and Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing hardcover deluxe edition. Again, just comment below your favorite horror movie, whatever. I'll come and look. Who cares? I just want to get that out of the way because I have a video, but it's long as shit, and I don't feel like uploading it because I'm lazy as hell. So I'll take the names of the people who put that in the comments or whatever, and then the people who are in my live stream and do it. But yeah, sorry. That's my plug. Real quick plug. I'm going to bed, guys. You guys have a good night.
How much
Nice talking to you.
cut does Omnibros get for that plug? Do we get like 2 points on the percentage?
I don't even know what you just said. Hang on. Say that again.
I'm asking, since you're plugging it here on Omnibros, what's our cut? What do we get
Yeah,
out of this?
Gabe's gotten ruthless lately about Omnibros.
87 cents.
I'll take it.
Okay. 87 cents between you guys. So
That's a raise for us.
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. I warned you. Anyway, yeah. I'm out, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
And
Night.
maybe we'll do it again. Who knows? Night, guys.
All right.
Anytime, dude. Anytime.
Thanks for joining.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me. See you guys.
Take it easy.
Deuces.
See ya.
Okay, let's get the show started the right way. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I don't know what to do anymore. I already wasted my Giuseppe conversation.
You didn't waste it. That was a good one. Perfect holiday, Halloween one.
Well, apparently I gotta go walk the dogs.
Okay.
So I might be juicing. Are
Whoa, wait a
either
minute.
you guys are y'all logged into Omnibroslive account?
I am not.
Gabe, are you?
No, I'm under my account.
I'm just gonna skedaddle, and then y'all can continue. And since Gabe came in late and didn't get a chance to chat, and then if one of y'all wants to get onto the group account, and then you can just shut it off if I'm still walking.
Actually, I got to get going too, though.
Oh well, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just do my haul on the next show. No worries.
Well, I'm sorry that we didn't get to talk much tonight, Gabe.
No, it's cool, man. I had a long couple of days, and then I was at a child's Halloween party.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Well, I hope that you had a really great birthday. It looked like you had a lot of fun.
yeah, no, I had a great time, man. Dude. Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. You got to spend it at Disneyland.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Go to Disneyland and don't bring your kids, because taking your kids suck.
I'm gonna keep it in mind. But I mean, I'm glad that you had a great birthday, and thanks for popping in, and thank you for joining, Gabe. And I'm sorry, everybody, that I messed up for about 10 or 15 minutes when we couldn't figure out that I was the one echoing, and then I didn't know how to fix it.
How did you fix it?
I put on headphones.
Oh. All right, we'll keep that in mind.
I have to go be a good dog daddy and walk the dogs now. And I'm gonna, I don't know, see you all next week, I guess.
Okay, you can find me on OmniDog's Vault. That's my plug, OmniDog's Vault.
Oh, and the OmniDog is about to get some sponsorship from a root beer company.
Allegedly. We'll see if that actually comes through. Giovanni was nice enough to try and set me up with a root beer sponsorship, but I haven't heard back from him yet, so we'll see if that comes through.
That's probably the greatest fucking thing.
I know, that would be awesome.
What the fuck is that?
My wife is pouring dog food.
Oh, it sounds like somebody's pouring ice into like a bathtub. Like you're going to cut somebody's kidney out.
Well, that is what we're going to do because we take Halloween very seriously.
That's right. Don't go to Riley's house with no costume on and expect candy.
You'll be exchanging organs.
That's right.
Well, Gabe, where can they find you, and what ridiculous company is sponsoring your show?
You can find me at Gabe Infinity Watch here on YouTube and Gabe Infinity Watch on Instagram. And sponsoring me is Disney flavored KY jelly because I took a break there. I fucked that place up. I spent too much money.
Well, and then you can find me ignoring the fact that I'm obviously echoing on this channel or on the Facebook page because I never make videos on my own channel, so that's not going to happen. And we are sponsored. I am sponsored by. What am I sponsored by?
Giuseppe.
I am sponsored by Giuseppe. That's correct. I'm sponsored by Giuseppe. And I guess we'll see you guys later. Is the next show going to be before or after Halloween?
After.
The next show is going to be after Halloween. So
Halloween is what?
Tuesday. Yeah. So after Halloween, maybe we'll have to try and do something on like Sunday or Monday just to hearken in the holiday.
We could do Sunday. Omar is going to be here in Vegas, so maybe we could do like a double
awesome.
show or something.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well,
so
that sounds like a good plan.
Hit up a lot of comic book stores and possibly a lot of strip clubs.
Nice. That's a good yet deadly combination.
Sounds like my kind of fun.
I'm just getting ready for when Jess comes out here, and we got a convertible pink Cadillac.
Oh yeah, that's totally what I'm renting. We're gonna be cruising and stuff.
We're both going to be dressed up like
All right.
Henry Thompson and on lots of.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and peace out, guys.
All right, take it easy, dudes.
Bye, Riley.
All right.
Have fun.
Good night, everybody.
Get their poop.
Thanks for joining in. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you all later.
Bye.